This is the Wandering Mike.
Welcome everyone to the Wandering Mike. Today I'm here with Massyl. Hey Massyl, how you
Hi,
doing?
Mike. Good on you.
Not bad. We kind of did the best we could do during this day because it's raining outside. Nothing else to do than
I
sit
know.
inside and have a chat. Hey.
Yeah.
So, but to be fair, it was a really nice week. Like it was really hot, like all week, kind
Yeah.
of. And then on Friday it started being like a bit.
Yeah.
And
we
now
get,
today
we
it's
get
just
a bit. I'd rather have this raining stuff during the work days with it keeping
yeah.
easier at work than the weekend when you want to chill. But anyway.
Yeah, it would be, but actually, it's almost most of the time it's like that. When you work,
Yeah.
it's hot, and then the weekend
Yeah.
it starts raining.
Since I'm here, I've been here like for 2.5 weeks now. It's always been raining.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, usually. Did I bring the rain with me? Maybe.
I think so.
A fresh guy.
Did you bring the French weather? But to be fair, I don't even think I know where you're from in France. I don't even know if does it rain a lot where you're from.
It depends. I'm from Lyon, actually. You know
Lyon?
where it is? It's southeast. Between Marseille and Paris, but I would say it's closer to Marseille than Paris.
It's
Near Switzerland.
yeah, it's very inland, right? You're not
Yeah.
close to the sea.
I'm close. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
to be honest, relatively, Lyon is one of the best places to be in France because it's kind of a big city like Paris, so you get the same vibes. But at the same time, it's close to everything. Like you have the Alps near, you have the sea from the Mediterranean Sea, which is not really far, 2-3 hours per drive. And if you want to go to Paris, it's 4 hours driving. So it's
not too bad.
yeah, it's kind of close to everything around France, and you're close to Switzerland, Germany, Italy.
Yeah.
So, and to be fair, it's a good city also, a very beautiful city with a lot of historical stuff, monuments,
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the only city I've really been to in France is Paris because we went when I was in school. We did like an exchange program. So I went there for 1 week and stayed with a family. And then a couple of months later, they came over to Germany and did the same thing. So we were just seeing Paris, doing like all the touristy stuff, seeing Notre Dame, seeing like Montmartre, like all those kind of things. And I like drove through France a couple of times on my way to Portugal. So, but basically I was just on the highways driving towards Germany. So, yeah, I don't know anything about Lyon and its city. It has a lot of history, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like an old city.
Yeah, basically like during many revolution in history, we have we call the Vieux Lyon, which basically means the Vieux Lyon. We call it the Traboul, it's like in the hills, Lyon has 2 hills, one is Belcourt and the other is Croix-Rousse. And Croix-Rousse, you have that historical modes out there when you have all well, typically I was saying like during the revolution and the wars, where resistance used to hide, it's like a maze,
Right.
a maze, because when they will get purchased, not purchased is not the word, but when they're trying to get captured by let's say the enemies or the police, they would hide in there because it's very um, um, how do you say this?
Yes, yeah, like a maze. It's
Yeah, yeah,
very
yeah,
like a
like
lot of
nice.
different
Yeah,
paths, and you can hide like there.
yeah, exactly. It's also where we used to do like the we call it le métier à tisser. Uh, you know my English is very bad.
No,
Uh,
no, it's not. It's
in,
just these
in
specific
French we
things.
call it la soie.
The swan.
Yeah. In English, let me translate it. It's the silk.
Oh,
Yeah, we used to produce silk. That's why
right.
the the room inside, they are very the space between the soil and the roof is very
Oh,
high.
it's really tall.
Yeah, because we used to have really heavy and big machine to produce the silk.
Right.
So this is something that Lyon was recognized for. And also, we have the gastronomy here.
Hmm.
This is where Paul Bocuse is from. Also, you know Paul Bocuse. It's a great chef,
Oh,
a recognized chef
right.
in France. We had also many traditional and in traditional, I would say, local recipe, like cervelle de canut, which is from made of cheese. Lyon is also recognized as the lights city.
Oh, right.
Yeah, every year we have what we call La Fête des Lumières,
Right.
which is the lights party, something.
So
It's not,
festival of light.
yeah, like festival of light. We'd gather many hundred of thousand people every year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a very worldwide event. Um, and well, it's a city that is not that big. Like you can do the major part of the city in an afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't really take long to do the major part of the city, which is very good when you don't have many time to spend in France.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's also a great place to live in, I think, and because it's not that overwhelmed with like it's not Paris. Like Paris, you have that big cycle,
Mm.
which is we call the periphery.
Right.
When you want to get out of Paris, it just takes too much time, and you do not have many things to do around anyway. I would say.
Yeah.
Uh, Lyon is still open as a city. Like you can have um, great places to enjoy nature really close.
Right.
Like we are what we call the Les Monts d'Or, which is um, big hills, kind
Mhm.
of, where we can do great treks, great
Yeah.
trail. Uh, we have also a big natural park. This is
Oh,
a
yeah.
Parc de la Tête d'Or, which is one of the most biggest park in Europe, in the center of the city.
Oh, in the center.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
In the
wow.
center of the city.
So it's a very green city as well.
It's a very green city,
Mhm.
actually. Yeah, which is very good because you don't really feel like you in like a town of building just
Like in Paris.
yeah,
Like you're always
yeah, yeah,
surrounded
yeah,
by.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
I mean, I guess you have the. Or what's the river called? Seine? In Paris, you have the river
Ah, la Seine.
La Seine. Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess Because I'm thinking that's the only part in Paris where you don't feel like you're in a city, and even then, you are very close to the city. Like you
Yeah,
just have the river and you're surrounded. But I'm just thinking back, like there wasn't a moment where there was like a huge park or I felt like, oh, it's green. No, it was just buildings,
yeah,
buildings. And even from Montmartre, like you look over everything and
yeah,
it's just a city, you know?
yeah, exactly.
So,
But at the same time, I think Paris um, is not as like American big cities or even in Australia with great buildings. For example, the Eiffel Tower is like 330 meters, something like this. But it looks very, very tall when you see it because
right.
Paris is very flat.
Yeah.
So 300 meters is kind of, when you look at it, you can clearly see it. Like it's contrasted with the rest,
Yeah.
which is very flat. But you have exactly the same kind of tower in Tokyo, which is called the Tokyo Tower.
Mhm.
It's basically the Eiffel Tower, but in red and
Oh,
white.
really?
Yeah, the same height,
Oh, it is-
300 meters.
right.
But as Tokyo is the buildings are very high,
Yes.
it does not contrast with the rest of the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a thing I quite like it about like European cities
Mhm.
because with our architecture, we never build skyscrapers. Like you never really have, like you said, like for example, New York is like
Yeah.
the example of like a big city. Tokyo, I guess, but I've never been to Tokyo. And yeah, that's why, especially a thing like the Eiffel Tower
Mm.
is like such a like
Yeah,
it
the impact
you
is
see
much
it
more
in
powerful
exactly.
because it contrasts with the rest of the city. Yeah, European cities are very old city, and thankfully, uh, those monuments and those city and the buildings, they're very preserved.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in Australia, if you go to Sydney or Melbourne, there is a lot of big skyscraper, but you you don't really. Everything is very high. Everything is very big. So there is no that's contrast you can have whenever you have a big skyscraper. Uh, everything looks the kind of the same, no?
And maybe that's why not here in Australia, and I don't know about Japan, but maybe that's like, especially in Dubai and maybe Doha and Saudi Arabia, places like that, they're just building even higher now, you know,
Yeah.
because everything in modern cities is already high. So
Yeah.
you want to build even
Yeah.
higher so that you
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
contrast again, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's there. I don't even know how high the Burj Khalifa is, but you know, it's like
800 something.
it's insane.
880 or yeah. I know a funny fact. The Burj Khalifa is, to clean the window.
Yeah.
It takes I think 3 months to clean all the window, and
That's
they
insane.
clean it every 4 months.
Oh,
So
see?
so it basically all year they're cleaning the window. It's crazy, eh?
That's yeah, because once you're done with the other one, like the first one's already
Yeah,
get
yeah,
finished,
yeah.
you start
It's
again.
so high. It's so high, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Um, but yeah, it's I still like Paris for that. Like it has that historical moods. When you roaming around the city, you feel like the story behind, the
Yeah.
streets, the monuments and stuff. You feel that there is that vibes that you don't find in new cities. Like you have business buildings and stuff. You know, there is no historical things behind this.
Yeah. I think it's a thing that we have, especially in Europe, because we are that old, and all the cities you can go and
Yeah,
in Europe. And it doesn't matter where you go, south of Europe, Central Europe,
yeah, true.
Eastern Europe, everything has a history because everything is old. And I feel like not only obviously, but I think church and cathedrals make a big part of
Absolutely.
the city as well. Like you see a big cathedral, you see like, I mean, I've never been back after it burned down. But back then when we went to Paris, like you go Notre Dame, like it's such a, you stand in front of it and you're like, wow, like
Yeah.
such an amazing building.
And the fact that we are born in Europe and we are European, I think we normalized these kind of things because we see this every day. So we don't really understand, not really understand, but we do not really measure the value of it.
Yeah.
But this is where you see that people come from around the world to see the stuff that you just normalized, you know?
And for you, it's just, another church.
Yeah, I'll tell you a secret. I've been living in Paris for 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never been in Eiffel Tower. Never. You know why? Because I was like living 7 minutes afoot from Eiffel Tower. So every time I was like, I can go there every, I mean,
Right, you have
whatever I
to-
want.
Yeah.
It's so close. I can be there whatever I want. So I have time to go to Eiffel Tower. And now I'm in Australia, at the other side of the world. And I've never been to Eiffel Tower. Because when you think that you have time to do the things, you'll never do it. And when you come to Paris like for a week, then you have limited time. So you have to do everything you have to do.
Yeah.
And this is a good transition, but this is why I'm enjoying Australia. Because I know so far that my time is limited here. So I want to do everything, and I'm enjoying it, you know.
And yeah. That's actually what I wanted to ask about as well. Because technically, I mean, we're in Australia as tourists, but also not really, because we're doing the working holiday. And I know that I definitely had experiences like the one you had in Paris with places I've stayed in Australia. So when I stayed in Perth, for example, I lived there for 6 months. But, I lived there, I was working there, and it was like, oh yeah, there's this thing I would want to see, but yeah, I can do it tomorrow. And now I'm here and I didn't see everything in the city. Do you feel like something like that might happen to you in Australia as well? Or do you just really make sure you want to see everything that you can?
Yeah, this is the second option. Yeah, I'm trying to do everything I can do. And actually, I spent a lot of money so far, so that's why I'm need to work hard.
Right.
But yeah, every opportunity that opens, I'm going with it because I might not be here again, and it's at the other side of the world. So even though I was to come again here, I would love to do like 17,000 kilometers just to do the things while I'm here. So everything is close. And this is also, I will go to Asia. I will go a tour of Asia after Australia. Because everyone is close now. You can go all of the eastern part of Asia at once. If I want to go again, I will need to do France, Vietnam, France, Japan, France, Thailand. Very expensive. Everything is close here. So I have the opportunity to do the most of it. So yeah, I'm trying to do everything I can while I'm here. Yeah.
No, it makes a lot of sense because Australia is like, I mean, I didn't really know until I lived in Indonesia, because when I was studying, I was living in Jakarta for 1 year. And then after the studying finished in Jakarta, I had think about 4 months before it started back in Germany. And then I was thinking, oh, I'm going to travel some more, see some more of Asia. And then I looked at the map and I realized, oh, Australia is right there as well. Like, I didn't really understand it living back in Europe, that it's actually so close. It was like a 3 or 4 hour flight from Jakarta to the western side of Australia, and you're already there. And I'm like, oh, I never knew Australia is that close to Asia,
Yeah,
but it's really close. So it makes a lot of sense to, while you're here, like travel all the countries that you do want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
So, is there countries in particular that you want to see? Like, what countries are on your list?
Oh, I have Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, China. Also, I would like to do some island like Philippines also.
Right.
Oh, and of course, it's not really Asia, but before going to Asia, I want to do New Zealand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a must do.
It's also really, because I came over from New Zealand because
wow.
I did New Zealand last year. The same, basically, I did the working holiday
Yeah,
in New Zealand. And once my visa was over, I came here, and it's also really close because I flew from the South Island to Gold Coast, which is just around the corner here. And it took 3 hours. So if you even want to fly to Auckland, it's even closer. It's like
yeah,
2 hours or
that's true.
something. But that being said, I mean, I would recommend the South Island because I also live there, so I'm maybe a bit biased. But the North Island has really beautiful parts as well. Like, and it has more beaches, I would say, like more nice beaches and stuff like that. But if you're into mountains, if you're into like huge waterfalls, like lakes and stuff like that, the landscapes are, I think, objectively better on the South Island.
That's that Lord of the Rings mood,
Yeah,
It's a big landscape, the adventure and stuff.
yeah. Most of the movies were shot on the South Island. Like, they have a couple of sets on the North Island. Like, they built, especially, I don't know if you heard about the Hobbit city.
Yeah.
That you can visit as well, and I visited it. It's quite nice. It's a cool little thing to see the actual set. So they filmed all that on the North Island, but the actual nature, everything they filmed was on the South Island.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a treasure of nature out there. Like, if you want to, one of the best places, I think, when you really want to disconnect from the pressure of the city that, you can have in your everyday life.
Yeah,
This is one of the places to go, I think. Yeah.
and you can feel that in the people as well. Like, the people that live in New Zealand, they're really like relaxed. They're really calm, and they're very, very drawn to nature. It's just what they do. When they have free time, they go hiking. They go out in nature. It's just, yeah, for them, that is their free time activity. And also, I don't know if it's true. I think it's true. They told me that they invented golf. So I think the first ever golf course was in New Zealand. And I have to say, because I played golf a little bit in Germany while I was studying. We just wanted to learn it, and then in New Zealand, I played a couple of times just because the golf courses, they really are amazing because they're in the nature. You're surrounded by all the landscapes, and you just in the middle of mountains next to a lake, and
It's wow.
it's quite nice
in itself, yeah.
So we're already basically talking about your plans after Australia. Let's take it back a bit. And um, what was your primary reason for coming to Australia when you were in France? Why did you make the decision? Because you've said it a couple of times now. It's on the other side of the world.
Yes.
So where did the decision come from? Oh, I want to just go as far away as I possibly can.
So I used to work as a financial responsible in big telecommunication company
Mm-hmm.
in France. I've been working for this company for 8 years, and I think that was the 8 years of my life that I just didn't notice how fast it just went through, and I just kind of realized this at some points, and it just felt like you're waking up. Like I just realized that you just spent 8 years and you didn't really pursue your kid dreams,
Right.
when you're young, you have big dreams of traveling around the world and stuff like this. And um, I'm 29 now, so I also have a family projects after that,
Mm-hmm.
kids, home, stuff like this. And I'm at this age where I'm still young, so this was the best shot. I think the best time to just do whatever I want. And now, before getting into projects that would settle me on a place, to have to raise a family and stuff. So you have to. You can't really,
Yeah.
you don't just own your own life or responsibility, You also have to be there for other people that account for you. So I think now was the best time to do those things, to have no regrets after this, because I think there is a lot of good reasons to do it, but when you're just afraid to take that step, you're always focusing on the bad reason not to do it, and this is the risk, and that would be a shame not to give it a shot, at least. And now I'm very grateful I just take that step. But yeah, I just wanted to have this one unique experience in my life and to see where it goes,
I have to say it is quite, I don't want to say astonishing, but it is rare that people at 29, and with that, people know about your age. I'm a year older than you. But if you have actually never really traveled before, because I did it when I was younger, so I always knew it was something in my life. But you're completely right. A lot of people and a lot of my friends back in Germany as well, they're all wonderful people. But when I told them, oh, I'm going to travel again, I'm going to go to New Zealand, the first things they all asked was, oh, do you know someone in New Zealand? Oh, what if something goes wrong?
Yeah.
You're going to be that far away. What if something bad happens? And like you said, that's the first thing that comes into people's minds. And at 29, where you had an established career, where you have all these things already, well, built for you, because that's another thing people always say. Well, am I just ignoring the last 8 years? No, but you can still, even though you have that, do new experiences,
Yeah.
So I like that at 29, you said, no, I have to do it now. And I might be well, maybe some things will go wrong, and they will. Like some things always go wrong, but
and this is how you learn.
Exactly, and you do it anyway, and you have the experience. And so, for you though, you definitely. I mean, life is life. You never. But the plan was when you came here. So this is my traveling experience now, and then afterwards, you will start a family, and then there's not a lot of travel in your immediate future, just because you will have to like buy a home somewhere, you will have to start a family, and you will be like locked to a place for quite some time.
To be honest, I'm not putting very much pressure, and I'm just like, this is something I wish, to raise a family and stuff. But I'm not like putting some deadlines, like I need to be at this point at this age. It's just that I cannot know that it's something that would probably came on the next years,
Right.
or at least I'm open to the idea of it. But it will come when will it come? It might never arrive, and I'm good with it. So far I'm just enjoying the life I can live now. Like I'm just enjoying everything I can do, because I think there is the two most important things in life are health and also money. Lucky enough, I have a bit of money to travel, and I have health to enjoy this travel. So I think I'm the richest man alive in that sense, and I have to embrace life, I have to enjoy this opportunity. So I'm just traveling, enjoying, and whatever comes next, I can't tell, but I'm just
It isn't like I mean, I don't mean to go too deep into it, but I mean, the health thing, it's such an important thing as well to keep in mind, because I think it's also normal, in a sense that like you don't think about it every day. You
Yes.
don't wake up and you're like, oh, I'm healthy, because it's just
it's granted. It's
you-
not granted.
you just feel like, yeah, that's how it's gonna be forever. But then, even when we just get like a flu,
Yeah.
we realize, oh,
Yeah.
wow, I can't
Yeah.
go outside. I can't talk with my friends. I'm restricted to the bed, and a lot of people have it a lot worse. So you should, every day that you are in your full health and you're able to do everything, you should really make use of that.
There is a thing that says you can have 99 problems, but the day you have an health problem, you only have one problem, And I think it's very powerful, because it's basically remind you that everything that you take for granted, that you enjoy every day, the day that you will no longer have it, this is where you realize the importance of it all. So, I mean, it's also hard, to be honest, to always be like in this mindset and saying, I'm grateful for this, because
Of course.
you have your everyday life, and of course it's kind of granted in a sense, because you have your two hands, you have your breathe.
Yeah.
Fine.
I do have.
But the day that you have whatever problem it is, but something that is very impactful in your life, and you realize that you cannot do anymore what you used to be so easily before, then so it's think about it every day, but sometimes when you just feel bad about something, a problem or anything, yeah, you just can have to, I think, have some perspective, a step back on the real issue you might have in your life.
Yeah.
So
That's why I also said, like, obviously no one is bad for taking it for granted, because it's normal. Like, I don't feel grateful every day, you just, you forget about it. But then that is how life works. Like, once something happens, then you realize it again, and you're like, oh yeah, it's it is something to be grateful for, and it is, like you said, the one thing that if you don't have it, it's gonna be your only problem. Um so with that mindset, of basically, because what we said now is we're still capable, and we have the privilege to be wealthy enough to be um doing kind of what we want, not in the ultimate sense. Well, let me ask that as a question. Do you feel that you are in a position where you can actually do whatever you want? Is that a thing that you think is achievable in life ever, to be completely free to do what you want?
yeah, this is a good question. I realized actually that um, when you're not doing things because you think you're not capable of it, usually the main responsible of the situation is you. You put your own barrier,
Mm.
Like let's say about just going to Australia. There is many people that just don't do it because they don't feel capable of it. But factually they are. Like they, I do believe they're smart enough. They have uh, all accessibility. They can move, they can handle things. Um, and usually they have enough money to do it. Yeah, but okay, sometimes true, you have the work thing that, or they have a family, and in that situation, yeah, indeed it could be
Right.
more difficult. But sometimes there is no such restriction, or at least you can find a solution to counterpass. I have many friends that they had a job, they were in a couple, they were married, and they still figured it out to travel, So I think yeah, that do I think I can do whatever I want? Do I think I'm free? I think that each day, yeah, I realized I'm more and more realizing that yes, I'm free because I'm I'm always trying to do new things.
Mhm.
I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, trying to do things I was not aware I could do, and eventually it works. So every barrier, every notion of incapability, of the fact that I would not be able to do it or are not capable of doing, everything was in my mind. I mean, of course, like if you ask me to fly, I wouldn't be able to fly. But I think in the limit of the human capability of the physics,
Right.
I think, yeah, I can tell I'm free. Yeah.
Um, I think that's a important thing that you just said, that it is a lot of things, a lot of barriers, like you said it, in the mind. And I'm also not saying that, like, not everything necessarily is a good thing. I'm not putting like a value on it, but in general, you can do what you want. Like if you decide now I want to go to India, like you could find ways to do it. Like even if you don't have the money, maybe you need to sleep outside for a night. Like maybe you need to ask a couple of container ships, hey, can you take me? Can you take me? Can you take me? And eventually someone. So I guess it also in a way depends on what you are, like you said as well, what you're comfortable with putting yourself through, because you have a certain idea of how you want to do things. And then again, maybe, okay, I want to do it this certain way. Okay, then you have to find other solutions. But yeah, at the end of the day, we have a lot of things that just keep us like to stick to what we know is, oh, I know this job. Oh, I know this community. Oh, I have my friends here. And that's why we kind of say, oh no, I can't leave because then I don't have this. But yeah, you just have to be comfortable to put yourself in different situations. Maybe have less of the comfort. You really want to do that one thing. And I guess that's just something that people have to figure out. Like, is doing that thing worth going through whatever I have to go through, you know?
And I even think that this is actually the thing that you have to seek, the discomfort, because this is where you evolve. When you feel bad is when you change. Like when you never felt that stupid and when you learn something, you know?
Right.
And you never feel that weak when you're doing sport and when you're outperforming your previous performance, you will feel very tired, very weak. But this is where the change happening. This is where you evolve. So when you feel weak, when you feel stupid, when you feel bad, this is what you have to seek, because this is where you change. So I think, yeah, you have to make the whole world your comfort zone in some sense, you know?
Yes. That would be, I guess, in the context of what we're talking about, that would be the ultimate freedom.
Yeah.
If everything. But then again, just thinking about it, I know that I'm not even close to there, because there's a lot of things that I know I would still be very uncomfortable with. And then, yeah, I guess that is the ultimate goal, to just put you through it. And then, but it's it's so hard, you know, like it's the ideal, but I also feel like I don't want to say there has to be, but for me personally, feel like I always need a bit of a balance. I can't go completely out of comfort. Some things I always need to have that kind of keep me, you know, at least a bit in my comfort zone. But maybe that's also just my ego rationalizing. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, there is no rules. Like there is no bad way, good way. It's a very personal path, I think. Everyone has his own way to embrace life. So
That
I mean, it really, when you feel bad about the situation or when you really have this need of change, I think it will comes naturally. Like when you really in a situation when you feel that you have to change, but it's not just something you said it unsure in your mind, but when you really feel it, that a change has to occurs on your life, I think the the effort needed to change looks less uncomfortable than going out of your comfort zone. And this is where you outperforming yourself, you know?
I definitely agree with that. Because I think we both have already lived some time, so we know. What I always tell people as well is some things in your life you can just, if you know everything, like, for example, because now with a lot of young people around while I traveled, like everyone's always asking me, how do you not drink alcohol anymore? And I'm like, I've known for a long time that it's not good for my life and my health to drink alcohol, but I still did it because of the social factors, because of the factors that I could hide a bit in it when I drink. I can hide some aspects that I didn't like about my life. And eventually, when I stopped drinking, it was just like you said, because a thing just switched in my mind. Like, it's not like all of a sudden I read one more thing, was like, oh, now it makes sense. No, but it was just a switch in my brain that made it easier. Like I said, like all of a sudden it didn't seem like that big of a deal anymore. It didn't seem like it was hard anymore. It just made sense in the overall path where I wanted to take my life. And obviously this is a very personal example, but this is exactly what you said. Like everyone has their own things, and sometimes, yeah, something just happens in your brain, some things click and you feel it like that, and that is when the change happens. And also a very important thing that I always say is, like you said, you can never force it. Like, don't, I think you've said that as well, don't put timelines on anything. Everyone has their own speed and everyone has their own journey, and when it is happening, it's supposed to happen, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I think the most important things eventually is to act. You never have the perfect answer, the perfect things done the first time. Impossible. You do not have to be afraid of the mistakes. This is the part of the learning thing, you know? You just have to act, like take decision, because either it will go the right way and then you can go to the next step, or it's not going well and then you're learning why it's going wrong, and then you're learning and you're not doing again, so you retry and then you can go to the next step. And this is how you learn, and this is how you do, and this is how you evolve. The worst thing that can happen is to get too scared of the change, too scared of the mistakes, too scared of falling, and to not start anything. And then you're just standing on the same points, and yeah, you can lose more years of your life like this, just because you were afraid of starting the new thing, you know?
And I feel like, I mean, I'm always very torn when I say things like that, but because I had a very, like, strict opinion when I was younger, and I think it changed a bit once I got older. So I do realize now that not everyone obviously has the same kind of ideal life that I have. You know, because when I was young, because I was fascinated by travel, like very young. So I was like, this is amazing. Why isn't everyone doing this? But I also now think not every single person has to travel. You know, like you said as well, family is a thing that you definitely think about in the future. It's right now not a thing that I think about. Right now, I don't think it's going to be in my life, but who knows? But there definitely is people for whom that is the number one thing. So if they start a family early, if they establish a home, they establish a community, that can be everything that they need. But I also have a lot of friends that are back in Germany, that are back in Portugal, and they tell me every now and then, oh, I wish I could do that. I wish I could go abroad. And I feel like, especially if a thing like that is in your mind, then you are just also taken away of your like self worth kind of, and you every year you're not doing it. Like you said, you're losing the time, but you're also kind of losing the belief in yourself. I'm capable of doing it. And then maybe eventually you will tell yourself, oh, well, it's not that bad. I am having a good life. And, like I said, I'm not saying that everyone that didn't travel is like that, because some people just have no desire to travel, and that's perfectly fine. But even we don't only have to talk about travel, but like starting your own creative thing, starting your own business. Some people are like, no, I will never start my own business. I like to work for someone else. Perfect. Perfect. And then there's people who hate their jobs and I wish I could do something on my own, but they never try. So they're like, oh yeah, the job isn't that bad, and those kind of things. Every time you don't act on something, you lose a little bit of yourself as well.
Mm-mm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's why trying is the best. You have to make it the only option. Like, the worst thing that it can happen is to bear that regrets all your life, and then when you'll be 50, 60, 70 years old, you'll have that time when you're gonna do like a rewind of your life, like a synthesis, and you just wish that at some point in your life you had this moment when you could have done this, that you never did.
Yes.
You could have done, but you never did. And I think this is a situation I want to avoid.
Yes.
I also think that there is nothing that is, of course there are things that's that way, but there are things in your life that are not intangible. Like, for example, if you're afraid to travel and you see this as something that is not, you wish you could travel, but you're too scared of this.
Yeah.
You just have to tell yourself that try, like, give it a shot. Go to this country. If it goes bad, you just buy a ticket and you go out of the country and it's done. You have you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
At least you have the answer now. So you won't have to think about it in 20, 30 years old. You have no regrets. You did it and now you have your answer.
And it's not for me. Yeah.
You did it, Yes or no. You know it. But not doing it, you will stay with a maybe all your life. And it will kill you,
Yeah.
internally.
Definitely. I think when people are like unhappy or get annoyed by things, it's always uncertainty. It's never certainty. It's never, oh, I know this isn't for me. I'm sad. No, it's like, oh, maybe I could have. It's always, yeah. It's yeah, and I think it's levels as well, because even now speaking about it, like, you can always be better, and it's not about, I think it's not about being perfect in that regard, because no one's perfect, but it's just about trying your best to be true to, because for me, yeah, it goes hand in hand with being true to yourself. As if it is something that is somewhere inside of you.
Yeah.
Just do it. And if you don't do it and it comes up after a week, don't be like, oh yeah, I ignored it for a week now, I'm a shit person. No,
Yeah.
try it now, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
and just always trying to do the best you can do, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. To be the best version of yourself. I think also, um, to really be the person who you aim to be, the only competition you have is with yourself. Like, you have to be better than who you were yesterday. You don't have to compare with anyone else because everyone has his own story, his own path, his own abilities of, like if you start to compare to anyone, like I wish I was like him, I wish I was him,
Right.
you're losing yourself and you go in every direction instead of your own direction because you're not focusing on yourself. You're not investing on yourself. You have your own identity, There is something that is meant for you. But for you to reach it, you have to invest all in yourself. You don't have to look what others do and stuff. I mean, you can watch like what others do and it's always a source of inspiration.
Yeah.
But you're not them. You will never be them. You only ever be you. So yeah, you just keep working on yourself, what is the best for you. Like it sounds very generic like this, like,
But I mean, there has to be because just because of the nature of what it is, because it is different for everyone. So I know exactly what you mean, though. I totally agree with everything you say. And like you said as well, I feel like it is important to find inspiration as well and also make use of the knowledge that is there. Like, let's say, obviously, if I want to, um, let's just say I want to become a better podcaster every uh, single day, every single episode. Like, obviously, I'm not going to compare myself with Michael Jordan because it doesn't have anything to do with it. I can be like, oh, why can't I throw like all these three pointers? Like, oh, why am I not as athletic as him? Those kind of comparisons don't bring me anywhere. But if I just listen to podcasts that are out there and I see, oh, the way he asked that question was really good because it did this and that, and the way he led the conversation to this point. So you need to find people that are good in the things that you want to do, that you can, also not compare, but that you can learn from and then use it for what you want to do. You can see, oh, this thing I would like to be able to do as well. How did he do it? How can I learn from what he achieved,
And I think this is the wisest reaction. Like when you look at someone that is on the same field as you, but he's doing the things better than you can either say this with jealousy, with envy, and just you're just learning nothing because you're just like blinded by rage, or you can just look at him and just recognize that he's better than you, and then understand why he's better than you, and then this is how you evolve. Inspiration, not envy.
This is also I don't want to make it sound like it's super easy.
No, of course not.
It's not. But I actually had this in my old job when I was working in Portugal. Like, I was the trainer, so I basically trained the people that came into the company, and I showed them how to do a certain software. Like, it was a customer service role, so it was a lot of how do I just talk with people in general. But then there was like a specific software because it was a travel company, so we had like a software that we use. And then in one of the groups that I trained, there was a guy who actually came he worked for a travel agency for years, so he knew the program we used like by heart because he used it every single day of his life. And he just, when I made mistakes, which happened, which I didn't do on purpose, but I just didn't know better at the time, he was like, no, actually there's a better way, or there's a more efficient way. And in the beginning I was like, but then I was like, no, I'm going to use this, there's a guy that I can learn from. And it's like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, please tell us, like, can you show us? Can you give us more examples? And again, it's a mindset switch where you just have to see everyone that's better than you is a good thing because you can learn from them, like you said.
Yeah, true. It's all about ego. Sometimes you have to put your ego aside.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really wise when you know that you know nothing, actually. And you have to embrace that mindset that you know nothing. And every new skill, every new lesson is a blessing. If someone knows something that you don't know, like it's profitable for you, not for him. He already knows this.
Yeah.
But you're learning things. So,
Sure.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But as you said, it's easier said than done because this ego thing, we all have it. And
so there,
when you have someone, like, for example, in your company, someone younger than you trying to explain you the things, it can sometimes eat the ego, but like you realize he has the knowledge you don't have. This is a fact.
Yeah.
So you have to put aside the age, the ego, this thing that doesn't matter, and just, learn new things, be better, and you'll be, again, the competition is against yourself.
Like you said, because at the end, it is good for you, because otherwise maybe it feels better for you. Like you just know I'm in a higher position. I can shut him down. It might feel better in the moment, but at the end you stay the same. You don't evolve. You don't learn. So, you just have to realize that, put the ego aside, and and learn. And I feel like that's an important thing in life in general. Like every day there is something we can learn. Like if we just live with purpose and we have conversations with purpose as well. I was like, oh, did you see what Kim Kardashian did last night? No, but if you have like conversations with purpose, like you can learn something from every person. Like you can find, like you said, things that you don't know yet with everyone. Like, because everyone has different things that they invest their time in. So you're definitely going to find things that someone tells you that you didn't know yet.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Well, with that, I definitely learned a couple of things in this episode that I didn't know yet, and I really enjoyed it. I have to work soon, so that's why I'm going to cut it short. I'm sure we could have talked about a lot of different things as well. We kind of started with Lyon and France, and that was really cool to learn about Lyon. And then we went into your adventure, and then I think because we kind of both enjoy talking about like the deeper stuff, we just stayed there for a bit. But I liked it. I was happy with what we talked about, and I always enjoy like bringing these things back into my mind and actively thinking about it again.
Me too, Mike. I really enjoyed the moment. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Of course. I'm happy you took your time and you shared all your experiences with us. And, well, with that, enjoy the rest of your rainy Sunday.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.